Okay. Skip that world quest. It is not worth the stress in your life. Do everything else. The catching the torches is never worth it.
Hey everybody, welcome to Lions Pride Tavern, podcast number 93. 7 more till 100. Tonight we find out how we did in this weekend's continuing raid of Antorus the Burning Throne. Will we ever get Argus down before the new xpac? Let's find out. But before all that, let's start off with introductions. I'm your host, Stafford. I play a Dwarven Beastmaster Hunter in the awesome game World of Warcraft. Next up, we have Dizzy.
Hi, I'm Dizzy. I play a human Beastmaster Hunter.
And Lorelei.
Hi, it's Lorelei, your Night Elf Arms Fury Warrior.
And Epistle.
Hello, I'm Epistle. I play a Draenei Protection Paladin.
And Ant.
I am your Night Elf Mistweaver Monk.
Sorry. Every time I say that, I think of Dead Ant. And Ant.
Of course you do.
My fault. So sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
But are you?
Well, for social reasons,
he's Canadian, yes.
Now the song is in my head again. Thanks.
Dead Ant. Dead Ant.
Yep.
So how's everybody doing this week?
Good. It's storming right now,
Oh.
so hopefully I'll be able to stay online.
Yeah, it's raining pretty bad here right now.
Actually, I think our range is
Ooh.
finished.
Yeah, I know. I think we got like 73 and beautiful sunshine.
It's been actually uncharacteristically hot here, like really, really hot. And some people have been enjoying it, but some of us are still, say, in school teaching and finding it very hot.
Oh, no AC in school, huh?
Well, here's the thing. My wife has air conditioning in her school, and I don't in mine. And I have this great, beautiful window that 98% of the year looks into this beautiful field. But last week it was just a sauna.
Oh.
But we're done on Thursday, so it doesn't matter.
Did you feel like an ant under a magnifying glass?
Something like, yes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Dead ant.
Uh-oh.
See
Fried
what I did
ant.
there?
You guys have heard of chocolate-covered ants too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are delicious.
and that's about as far as I go with them. Is hearing about them.
They're like eating chocolate Rice Krispies.
Yeah, no.
You
Nope.
know,
I
if I
swear.
was,
It'll
if
never
I
be
was-
Rice Krispies.
If I was
No, that's
starving,
what it feels like, though. It's what the texture is like.
Nope. You're still eating a
It's
bug.
like Cocoa Krispies.
Nope.
I'm trying to imagine a chocolate-covered Draenei, though.
That would be like
Ooh.
a chocolate-covered side of beef, or
That'd be a
Space Ghost?
lot of chocolate, though.
really the only one here with that name is Ant, and he's a Night Elf Mistweaver Monk.
What, did I get it wrong? Okay, so a night elf in chocolate, though. It would be a very thin coating and would probably break off as they went dashing off to do something ridiculously agile.
Well,
That-
it would be
that just-
muscular. I mean, you did see that picture that Donna did draw, so...
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So did anybody do anything exciting this week?
Nah, just did movie Sunday.
Roma
What'd you go see?
motorcycle.
We saw Jurassic, whichever one it is right now. Don't know. Can't remember. Kingdom?
Lost
Park, World?
Kingdom.
Kingdom? Okay.
All right. And
And it was not bad.
so my wife just started today. We're watching all the old Jurassics in order to go
Oh,
this
God.
weekend.
I don't know if I could do that.
Well,
So it starts good and then gets bad, and then I hear it gets good again.
Well, they definitely set it up. There's probably going to be another one.
Well,
And if
no,
we
I mean,
survive that one as a world, we'll be okay.
no, I mean the original Jurassic Park was good, and there were
Yes.
2 that were like really bad, and then I heard the new ones were good.
Well,
It's not bad. It's not
It-
bad.
it's all the same theme, you know. There's dinosaurs, they eat people, they escape, and then, they're still there.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I don't know how many more twists that you can put on that same
No, they
storyline.
threw a twist out there.
All right, good. I mean, in one, they bring the dinosaur to the actual city and then take it back away. So I mean, they introduced, I love the dog scene. Dogs barking by the pool. Next thing you see, the doghouse is hanging from the dinosaur's mouth.
Yeah, and when the dog is barking, it's gonna die.
Yeah. And I don't know how it could be drinking chlorinated pool water. That just threw me right there. I was like, there's no way.
It's a dinosaur. It does what it wants.
That's true.
Yeah, but even as a dinosaur, if I, went down to get a drink of water and it smelled funny, I probably wouldn't drink it. I mean, yeah, I have a brain the size of a walnut, but still.
Stafford, you're forgetting the first rule. It's a movie.
Yeah, I know. They're not supposed to be logical, just entertaining. Wow.
Do they even have taste glands at that point in evolutionary development?
No idea.
That would be a good
Yep.
question.
Don't know.
So maybe they didn't have a sense of smell. Like if they're related to birds, I happen to know that birds don't smell other than vultures. So who's to say a dinosaur would smell? Then it couldn't taste. So it just be like it's wet, lap it up. There you go.
Yeah. Good point.
See, now you can enjoy the movie. You're welcome.
Too funny. So you rode your bike, Dizzy?
Yep.
Your motorbike. Got to make sure we get that right.
Yep. I got yelled at by hikers again.
Well, when you try to run them over.
I didn't try to run them over. I wasn't even on the trail. I was at the trailhead turning around because it was too muddy, and they're raising their fist at me because I was up there. So I guess I'm wrong for riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, well, everybody has their own opinion. But I remember when my dad was younger, he was my age, raising a family. They used to drive anywhere and everywhere they wanted to and tore up the land, and that's why I always blame him. So we can't do that anymore because of you. Well,
Actually,
at least
the
your generation.
four-wheelers do way more damage than the motorcycles do.
Yeah, well, you can argue with four-wheeler people about that too, because they'll say they don't, but whatever. Honestly, I think the cattle are the worst. When they let the cattle go to graze. Anyway, we're getting way off topic. So.
Very far afield.
Right? Good one.
I was just sitting here ruminating on all you were talking about.
Well, I guess we should probably start right off and find out how we did this week's raid. Dizzy?
Do we have to?
I will edit it for our pleasure.
You mean
Friday.
taking out some of the language? Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to get too deep into the nitty-gritty, but Friday we had 11 polls on Argus. And on the 9th poll, we actually got to the Berserk timer. On the 11th poll, we got them to 1%, and then we ran out of time for the night.
Yeah.
Saturday, we did 4 polls on Argus, and on the second poll, Tappuccino, our illustrious healer, face pulled, and it was epic.
It was almost like somebody blinked her there.
Oh, it was great. And then after 4 polls, we called it. due to lack of DPS. So, I mean, if everything had gone perfect, we wouldn't have had the DPS to get him down. So we called it and we started over at the beginning and got up through Portal Keeper, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Barely got Portal Keeper.
Yeah, barely.
Second
But
or
we
third
did.
attempt?
Barely.
I say it counts.
Oh, it definitely counts. It
Yeah.
was just more painful than it needed to be.
So let's talk about the last poll, 11th poll on Friday. What do we think went wrong? 1%. Where'd it go?
Wasn't that the one where, sorry, Epistle, but wasn't that one where you DC'd?
Was it that one or the second last one?
No,
No.
I think it was
no,
the second
because
last one, yeah.
that was the one where we decided, I thought we decided, let's do one more just to see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the very last poll, we brought Pucky into it.
Pucky and
He
4.
was-
Well,
And
Pucky
4.
and
They were
4
done with their
came
raids.
in-
Yeah.
No, they came in on the 10th
I thought they were, I thought they were the one that I went
Epistle
down.
DC'd.
Oh, that could very well be. Yeah, could have been that one. But I know having
Yeah.
them there gave us a little bit extra DPS to get us to that 1%.
It was definitely the 10th pull that he came in because that was the pull when Tap was like texting me like, one more pull, one more, come back, come back.
Oh, that's right, because I was going to call it right then. And it just was like, all right, Pistol's having issues. It's close enough to the game over. And then everybody's like, no, let's do it one more time. Yeah.
Well, we had a little time, and I know it was getting frustrating, but from my perspective, I'm just suddenly disconnected, and for no apparent cause, my Wi-Fi was still up, my kids' computers are still running. For some reason, my connection to Blizz had just reset, so I tried to get back in. I almost had enough time, too, because we were just getting to the last stage, and so we were just getting those few last ads down, and then I disconnected, and I thought, oh, maybe I just have enough time to get in. And I start to log in, and it asks me for an authentication, which, of course, is like, oh, no. So I almost would have had enough time to get in there and taunt off Darag at just the right time, but nope. So I wanted to do another poll. I just felt like, we can't end it there.
Yeah. But what do we think that? Do you think it was just DPS, or? I mean, I know everything gets crazy on that fourth phase. But...
In the fourth phase, on that very last end, that last round of ads, most of the DPS switched to the ads, and I think Pucky was right in that if we had focused, because he was within like 2% at that point, if we had focused a boss, we would have got him.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think that's true.
right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we might
because-
have actually been able to do that. If we'd maybe killed one, the ad that was closest to him, just had some focus on getting that one down, just so we had space, we probably could have done it.
Well, it usually gets cleaved down too, I would think, so it might not even need focus.
I don't know. Those circles expand pretty dang fast when you're not attacking them.
Yeah, but if we all turn off of the boss to go get the ads, the boss isn't getting killed.
True. Yeah. Okay.
And that was at the point where we had 6 ads up, so it was debate. I mean, well, we didn't get them down, so it's not a debate whether or not it would have killed us.
Yeah, I think the thing that I felt we were bashing our heads against, especially on the next night, though, was that we had people still dying in the first phase and dying to mechanics. And I noticed that where I was taking us watching, and it wasn't always that the person who died was at fault. It's that somebody else had not dropped the debuff or the blight had not dropped it where it should be, so it created problems for others. So sometimes people who died was because of somebody else's mess, which is unfortunate. But I was seeing people, we had 3, 4, 5 people going down to that. And that's one of the basics. And I think if we have people who are probably, new to the fight, figuring out, not able to drop it so it's overlapping, not getting the rhythm of the incoming cone, if you just don't know that mechanic, I'd rather just if we lose 4 or 5 people, just reset it right there and practice that mechanic till everyone's got it, because it feels like people have all the rest of the mechanics down to the end, except for maybe that last switch to the boss moment. But otherwise, people know most of it. But the interrupts are well managed on the ads. So everything's going really well. But that first bit, if we don't have that down and we lose people, our clock's going to run out and we're in trouble. We just don't have the extra DPS to kind of carry other people if they're low. We have people below the tanks doing DPS, and that's just sad.
Well, that's what I was saying too. Is I'd get the blight, and then somebody would stand right in front of me, drop it, and then I'd have to run through that because the cone was coming, and I died right in that first phase because of that. And then I don't normally die in that phase, so when somebody else is killing me, I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, so people just putting it where it shouldn't be.
All right, so let's talk about how the mechanics should be done. Anybody want to take that on?
Well, oh, go ahead.
You can go ahead, Lorelai.
Okay, well, what you should do is the first person who gets blight should run along the line of the old cone of death, whatever it's called, and should go not all the way to the edge of the platform, but just go, I would say maybe 3/4 of the way, and just stand there. Just stand there. And then the next person that gets it, you move up a little bit farther. Now, those two people have to watch, because the person in front needs to be paying attention to where that first soul blight gets dropped. That person should, once the first person's blight drops, the next one should move right into a little corner if you've got time, and you should have time for at least 2. Should move into the corner between the old cone and the edge of the blight, and then you're stacking those. You're almost double stacking them. And each person, because we usually get 3, or is it 4?
4.
4.
Okay.
Yep.
So you may have to go back a little farther than that, than almost to the edge. But by the time the third and fourth person are ready to drop their blight, that's when the next cone attack is happening. So you could move over a little bit, and you're far enough up that you can move to the right and still drop it where it's mostly in the cone. I mean, you've got enough wiggle room. You should be able to do that if you're the third and fourth person. But we've got people dropping the fourth one right there under the boss.
I've run into where I'd be the second or third person to get it, and I'll run back, and there's somebody just standing there waiting to drop it, maybe halfway back.
Yeah, people have to go back farther.
Well, the thing is, too, is on the third
Well,
and
the first
fourth
2.
one, you should
Yeah,
be
number
already
1.
moving to kind of get out of the way. I know that when I got the blight in the fourth one, I was rolling as far as I could because it's not going to target me, just dropping it way far out.
Well,
you don't
no,
have to stay
once
there to do it.
Yeah, once the cone comes up, then I just put it back in the back wherever, and it doesn't matter. But like when I'm running back like I'm supposed to because the cone hasn't been called yet, and then I have nowhere to go because they're dropping it right as I'm running into it to try to get out of the group.
So it's really that people need to know. Then the first one does the biggest run.
Whoever's 3 and 4 needs to really pay attention to where you're at, and you have to anticipate the cone as well. And I don't think people are doing that.
I think you're right. So if people are sort of thinking, I'm the first person with a blight, I should run a lot. If I'm the second person, I should be running a significant amount. If I'm the third person, I need to run and be very aware the cone's going to hit any minute. If I'm the fourth, it's like really be on top of your game, drop and run.
Well, then there's the other thing is like you don't know which one you have other than, oh, wait, there's 2 other people running, so I guess I have the second or third?
You do to a little point. I mean,
But
if
But
you've
if
got
people
that
are not
window
paying
showing
attention-
up, I mean, it tells you there's only one window I see right away. And I know you've got that little think time, but if you've also got the voice warning, you know if you're watching everything when you
No,
have
but what
it,
I'm
you
saying
just
though
need
is
to
people
move.
are focusing on the boss and tunneling, and they're like, "Oh wait, I have blight,"
and not
and
playing,
they don't know
not
that 2
paying
other
attention.
people already
Right.
have it.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and that's part of the problem with all these mechanics, right? If you're not being aware of the moment, where you are, what's going on, yeah, you take a 1 second delay, reaction time, we're all in trouble. This is a pretty unforgiving phase of the fight.
it is probably the most important phase of the fight because
Mhm.
if we can get out of there with nobody dead, the second and third phases are, piece of cake, to be honest.
Yep, they are now.
Yeah.
Yep.
The ads are easy. That's the easy part.
Yeah, one cosmic beacon goes off, like, I mean, we can heal through it, I know that, but, we don't have any going through and we're good, but the second phase is just, we've got that down pat. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's amazing that we can't get through that first phase. I mean, I guess it really, there again, it depends on who it's hitting and who's paying attention, So that brings up my next question, guys. Where do we go from here? What should we do? I mean, here's a perfect example. This has been, I don't know, the fourth podcast,
At least
so
the
that's 4 weeks.
fourth
Yeah,
week.
Yeah.
of us, banging our heads against Argus and, getting close, but no cigar. So
Has Friday been consistently better than Saturday?
Yes.
as far
Okay.
as the people who show up, yes.
Then I would say one simple part of this has got to be we can't bang our heads 2 days in a row. So we're only going to bang one day. That would be my suggestion, and only the day that's usually the most successful of the two. So it would seem I would suggest Friday stays for an Argus attempt, but not Saturday.
And then Saturday, do what, like alts or?
Well, I mean, it depends on whether we're really looking at progression or not on this, because it feels like, we're sort of losing a little momentum. I don't think that's a problem, because people are, going off in summer doing different things. I know I'm away next Friday, so, and that's going to be more common over the holidays. But if we say Friday's the day, we go, full in and expect people with really good gear and experience to be there. Saturday could be any number of things, whatever people are interested in. Just it's the focus on here's what's going to be our real progression night, and instead of managing two, which we've been able to, I think we have to cut it back to one.
Well, how about?
Yeah, I agree. Just, let people know that, they can bring in an alt on Saturday, and we'd like you to bring in your main on Friday.
Yeah.
Because this should be on farm right now, to be honest. We
I
shouldn't
agree.
be having any problem with this boss at all.
And I'm almost at a loss on why it is. I mean, we seem to have all of our heavier players on Friday, and then on Saturday it gets a little light. But I just can't go through another Saturday like that where we can't even get past the first phase without 6 people dying.
Yeah, and it also looked to me right off the bat that just looking at the composition of the group, it seemed to me we weren't going to get even to the last phase. And how far did we ever get that on Saturday on those 4 attempts?
I think we got on Saturday. We never got past the ads.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we got past the third phase.
Yeah, so we never got
You're
past the
probably
third phase
missing
on
a lot of
Saturday.
interrupters.
Oh, yeah, we were very
Well,
DPS shy
because they were
on.
dead.
Well,
A
yeah,
lot
but
of
we
the
don't.
A
Go
dead DPS is a shy DPS.
Yeah. Well, and it was some of the interrupters, and I don't know why, because those are some of the people that play a lot, and I don't understand why they were going down. But maybe they were trying to make up for because we did have a couple of new players that hadn't been playing for a while, and that's tough when they come back in on a night that we're trying to get Argus down, because you have to have the time in order to get the maneuvers down to do the dance, to get that boss down. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking, we tell everybody Friday we're going to go for Argus, because we're going to have somebody get a lockout. Irma's been really nice, and she's been the one getting it. So we still have it for this week because we didn't get it down. So we could do that on Friday, and then Saturday we just tell everybody, unless everybody shows up that was there on Friday for Saturday, we will do alts. that sound agreeable?
Yep.
That seems to
I
work.
think that's good.
And we're talking heroic, though, of course, not normal.
Right. Heroic, yeah. Yeah, we'll bring in alts. Well, provided that the alts are
Yeah,
geared
up to
for
speed.
heroic.
Well, and I know, for example, I have a healer that could probably do that, but you know what? I still have the other pistol on the other realm. I haven't played him for ages, and he's probably the best geared of any alt I've got. So I could still, tank on a pally.
Right.
Still named a pistol.
Well, we'll kind of play it by ear, and we're going to have to have an alt tank for this coming Friday anyway.
Well,
now you're just gone just for Friday epistle, not Saturday.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I was gonna say we have quite a few players that have alt tanks. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
hopefully
well,
we get
and
that
I know
covered.
Durag has been wanting to try to bring in his demon hunter and tank with it. So.
Well, that's
It's just
Saturday.
It's just unfortunate, though, that I'm missing the Friday if we're saying that's the, bring your serious heavyweight tune night, and I'm not there that night. It's going to be hard to tank coming in unless they know that particular boss dance.
Yeah, we'll figure out somebody. I'm not sure if Donna has it down yet or
I think Spicy's got it.
Spicy. Yeah. So, but see, he's one of the top DPS, though, too.
Yeah,
That's
but
always the
That's
trade-off.
the toss-up.
Yeah. So, well, we might be able to find somebody, that's first comfortable with playing with Durag, and second knows the fight well enough to.
Well, and Darg is so hard to tank with. He's so obnoxious, such a prima donna. You just
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's sitting right behind me, glaring at me.
I'm surprised he's
Is he
not trying to.
listening?
Yeah, he's listening, because he brought this to my attention. He's like, people are getting frustrated, and I think they're just on coast mode, as far as doing the work, doing the dance. So, yeah, I think he's kind of curious to see what we're gonna do. I usually make him listen to the podcast.
Well, does he agree to that? I mean, that's
Yeah.
there's somebody else that can put his 2 cents in.
Yeah, no, he's in agreement. He thinks that we should do one night that's, try to get everybody there, all the heavy hitters. Let's just one good night push, and then the next night relax, be jovial, play some alts, see how far we can get. And we'll determine on the alts, we're going to have to look at gear, because I don't think I have an alt that's, I would start getting gear right off the bat if we're doing mythics, but you guys are going to have to pull me through that because I got a healer that, well, I suppose I might be able to bring my mage, but I don't know.
That may not be a bad idea, even if just amongst us we sort of say, do we have 5 or 6 people who are willing to, in essence, run everyone else through at the beginning and kind of be the heavy hitters to help out while some people are gearing up, and then of course we're throwing all the gear at them. So then we could do a little switcheroony, and then later on do that as well. So someone, for example, wanted to take over the tanking role later in the summer before the expansion. I could run for the next few weeks, and then the people could bring that tune that's going to tank, and then roll for tanking gear, make sure they got the gear they need and ready to go. That's one potential way to manage that, and then people's expectations could be, I'm going to come along and get carried for several weeks, knowing that following that, I'll be carrying others.
Well, we actually already had something very similar to that going on every night after raid, doing mythics. For
Right,
weeks.
but that isn't everybody that's in the raid team. That's
Well,
what,
no, but
5
we'll
people.
have a couple of people. We'll have people be on with their mains doing the heavy hitting and then pulling everybody through.
Yeah.
I know I've gone on my tank and had, people like heavy hitters with DPS and then somebody else going in too. And I'm the last person that should be tanking because I'm awful at it. That's why I'm a healer.
You're
I'm
not
there
as
with you.
awful as you claim.
So,
And
but I wouldn't mind
everybody
it.
was an awful tank once.
I wouldn't mind it because that way we can get like Dizzy could bring in his alt and several of the other high hitters. That way I top the DPS charts.
Whoa.
Wow.
With my
That's some
main?
crazy talk there.
Hey, I've been right below you a lot there, Dizzy. I look up and I'm like number 2 right
lot.
underneath Dizzy. Yeah.
I don't know about a lot. I mean, from time to time, maybe.
Well, that's a lot.
Well, and if we're being really clever about it, we could say have a couple of DPS, high DPS hitters, like say mages, along when somebody else brings their lowbie mage, so that there's going to be that much more
Yeah.
gear and it's going to be more effective. How many hunters do we need, though?
Well, all the hunters run their mains, so
That's what I'm thinking. That's
Yeah.
gonna make that part difficult to gear up non-hunters.
But
Well,
how
we
many
don't-
hunters do we have that are alts?
that are alts.
That's
Yeah.
the question.
Well, we don't want a lot of those because
I
then
don't think
they'll
we
start
have
going.
many.
They'll start going. Oh, I really like hunters, and then we're gonna have like a tank, 2 healers, and the rest are hunters.
I'm okay with that because I'm actually switching off of Hunter.
Well, I've
Yeah.
noticed. So I've noticed that there's a lot of people that actually play monks that would actually like to bring tap, and I know that Niobe has one as well. That I mean, I don't have a problem going in on my healer as a main and taking the healing burden on either.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm game to tank for as long as needed. Although someone might really be keen to try it, in which case I've got other tunes I can use.
Sounds like we need a guild meeting.
Hey, we just had it.
We can have a real short one right before the raid on
Yeah.
Friday.
Or a sign-up sheet.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Mommy's
On
been
Google
doing
Docs.
that. Mommy's been doing that on
Yeah, hardly anybody signs up
on the calendar.
on the calendar.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny because when Blizzard first put it out, everybody's gone, "That's an awesome idea," and then nobody used it.
I was in a raid group that used it.
Yep, we always did. It's like
Um,
if you weren't on the calendar, you didn't get to go raid.
Yeah, you only ever forgot once.
Well, that's if you have more raid members or more guild members that are raiders than you do raid slots. It doesn't happen it just doesn't work if you're like, all right, well, you can't come if you don't sign up, and we have 9 people that are signed up. You're gonna take them.
True, but sometimes they would say, "All right, well, we don't have enough people signed up. See you later."
Yeah, I've seen that happen too.
Yeah, that would suck though. All right. Well, we're a little early. Anybody got anything they want to add? They got something they figured out or want to tell somebody anything? Nothing.
I want to ask a question because this is going to be my project for the next week. I'm shifting into summer mode, and I'm thinking I want to be figuring out what I should do before the expansion ends. And I'm not really, huge on pets, but are there things I should finish up before that I'm going to lose an opportunity for? Is there some rep stuff that I might be able to buy and don't even know I've got it? Like that sort of clean up and get everything I can out of Legion is kind of my thinking. So I'm wondering if people have some good sources or direction on that.
Oh
one.
yes, Hazel Nutty.
Hazel's
She's
got a good
already
list.
put out videos on what you should. There's everybody. Just put down, what I should do before BFA, and you'll see tons of YouTubes. But I will shout out Hazel Nutty has a good one. So just go to Hazel Nutty Games.
Yep, I've seen some of her stuff. It's definitely good stuff.
I mean, there are achievements we need to get now. Level your pets up as much as you can because the tokens are changing. You'll still be able to use old ones, but there are new ones that are going to be getting more expensive.
I actually got a mount this morning
Nice.
for killing 2,000 something or other in Argus. I got a mount.
2,000 Argus kills.
Oh, did you get the
No, it
demon
wasn't
Demons.
Argus
arms?
kills. It was
Attempts?
just the it was 2,000 greater enemies on Argus or something. I'd have to log in to tell you what exactly it was.
Huh. Yeah. I know there's the rep you got to get for the new races or classes, whatever. No, races. I guess they are. You got to have that done before. Well, you don't have to. I mean, they're going to have it set up
Is
to
it?
where even people that aren't ready for it can get those classes,
Yeah,
races.
that's what I was wondering. I got one already, and I didn't know if I actually had to do more.
Well, I'm not an expert on it. My son's got them all, and he's ready. He's even actually got the early ones already, but the Void Elf, he's already got that one. But I don't know. I'm just gonna be one of those guys that just waits till it comes out, and then have my wife fly me around and get all the rep.
Didn't you do that last time?
Yes, I did. And it sucked then too.
Well, and I've had the beta up for some time now. I was just looking at it the other day and thought, I don't want to do any of this because I'll end up having to do it twice. So I've decided to opt out. I thought it looks good. I'm looking forward to it in a month and a half or so, but I don't want to do it twice. So I'm just kind of holding back.
That's what I'm doing. I went on to it. I looked, kind of did a few things at the beginning, and I just don't want to burn myself out before it even comes out because I got to level up a bunch of, characters.
Yeah. See, that's where
Yeah.
I'm at too. So
I'm gonna try some pet battles, but all your pets were supposed to show up, and not all of mine have showed up. So
Oh,
I don't
really?
know. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna try it, but I got stuck on this quest today where things were not showing up or spawning, and if they did, you had 100 people standing right there waiting for it. So it's like, no, that's annoying.
Well, heck, let's just put it to the fans. So anybody out there know what we should be doing prior to the new XPAC? Let us know. Leave some comments. You can get us on Facebook.com/Lions Pride Tavern. Leave a comment there. Go to our Discord channel. It's in the description below. Send us an email at lionspridetavern@yahoo.com. Any of those ways, you get it to us, we'll answer it, or say thanks, letting us know that we should be doing this. So, all right, well, it's time. It's time for Lorelei's Pet Battle Minute.
Hi, Pet Battlers. No news from BFA again this week, so I'd like to talk a bit about add-ons that I like to use to make pet battling easier. Battle Pet Breed ID is an add-on that displays the breed of any pet while in battle, in your journal, tooltips, etc. It also gives you all the possible stats that you can get with a pet. For instance, if you need a speed pet, it will give you the speed first and all of that. Pet Battle Teams is a great add-on. You can create unlimited teams and quickly switch them out. Teams can be named, renamed, locked, and deleted. Pets can be swapped simply by dragging and dropping them into windows. And you can also mouse over each pet for additional information. Pet Tracker provides the locations of all pets, stables, and tamers on your world map. It also tracks the progress of catching pets in your current zone and shows the rarity of any pet in battle and lets you know if there's upgrades that you need. Auto Safari Hat gives you notifications if your Safari Hat isn't equipped or unequipped like I always do. And it provides a range of automatic switch options for things such as turn-ins, equipping your hat, and more. It's very customizable. I'm also experimenting with a new one called Battle Pet Cage Match. And this add-on works when you open your pet journal and flags pets that are up for sale on your server's auction house. You'll get a copper coin signal next to pets that are currently for sale and how much they're going for. If you're big into selling pets, this will come in very handy. It works with Trade Skill Master, so you need to have that add-on. If you have pets already caged, the add-on will flag those as well with a little cage symbol. And I found those two functions were very good already, as I have pets for sale on multiple tunes. I hope you try these out, and they've made pet battling easy for me. I'm currently working on my Family Fighter achievement, and Check Pet WQ is great. It lets you know which tamers are up for the day. And don't forget to keep collecting and using your pet charms, and I'll see you next week.
Next up,
Want to sell my blue axe? It's got a sweet glow. Only 10G. It's not VIP, but OMFG, what's this? Some Russians are spamming the trade channel, ban them.
Dizzy's Unleashing the Inner Goblin. Holiday gold making. Going on right now is the Midsummer Fire Festival, and much as I don't like to step on Lorelei, the gold making opportunities for this holiday involve pets. There are 3 pets that are for sale for 350 burning blossoms each. The Spirit of Summer pet goes for 8 to 20,000 gold. The Blazing Cinder Crawler goes from 30 to 80,000 gold, and the Igneous Flameling Battle Pet goes for 50 to 180,000 gold. The Frigid Frostling is also available from the daily boss Frostlord Ahun, but it's only worth about 15k. Now, to get all these burning blossoms, it's super easy and super boring. You need to fly around to all the bonfires to collect those blossoms. Every zone has bonfires. The friendly ones will give you 5 burning blossoms, and the enemy bonfires will give you 10. There are neutral bonfires in Mist Pandaria and Legion that will give you 15 burning blossoms each. The bonfires in the enemy capitals give 25 each, but are difficult to get without dying, and there are only 4 of them, and they're just kind of sketchy. So I tend to avoid them myself. It takes about 2 hours to fly around and click on all of the bonfires. To make this easier, you get the add-on Candy Buckets. It shows the location of all the bonfires on your map. Also, get the add-on TomTom, which allows you to then click on your map and it will give you a waypoint to fly to the next bonfire, which makes it even easier. Now, question. Is it better to sell the pets now or later? It depends.
Better to sell them later. Oops,
No,
sorry.
it depends. Right now, people are more likely to buy them during the holiday, but more people are selling them, so the prices go down. If you hold on to them for a couple of months and sell them, say around Christmas time, you'll get way more for them, but it might take a lot longer for them to sell. So I'll leave that up to you. And a bonus to this, if you're leveling, the friendly bonfires give you 4,500 XP, and the enemy ones give you 9,500 XP, so it's an easy way to multitask your alt leveling with your gold making. Just make sure the alt that you're leveling is high enough level already to be able to fly. Now go out there and make some holiday gold.
All right, good tips. And next up, our tank in a dress.
What's wrong with tanking? What's wrong with tanking? What's wrong with tanking in a dress? What's wrong with tanking? What's wrong with tanking? What's wrong with tanking in a dress?
This week's Come At Me, a Tanking Minute. We're going back to some more basics and talking about one-shotting. What is one-shotting? It's the bane of the tank's existence. That's where something happens, the boss mechanic, some situation, some place you're not supposed to stand, something goes horribly wrong, and a tank goes from 100% health to 0 health. Dead. One shot. That's the worst possible scenario for a tank, and you do everything you can to offset that. Of course, 3 main ways of doing that. One is, of course, lots of health. The second way is to use your active mitigation to diminish incoming damage. And, of course, you have those special cooldowns that you can burn to diminish incoming damage. And, of course, there's always healers, but if you're going to get one shot, there is nothing they can do. One shot, one kill. The heal is not going to make it in time, so you're toast. So you've got to make sure you've got lots of health, active mitigation, some CDs to use. For the most part, though, you'll find when the expansion comes out, when you're tanking, it's going to be a while to get the health up. Active mitigation, if you have that skill and the talents haven't changed too much, you can keep practice on that. Your CDs are going to change, though, over time with items and your familiarity and comfort with the new items that come in with the new content. But while you're building that up and your gear's a little lower, if you're actually a top-end player, you got a lot of experience in that, you should find the new content fairly straightforward and move up quickly. But if you're still learning the ropes on your active mitigation and using your cooldowns and knowing the mechanics of the fight when you're going to need them, you might take a little longer to get toasted a few more times. But again, you want to be aiming to be at the level where that's just not going to happen. Usually the rule of thumb is more armor, but we'll deal with more of that when the expansion's coming out. Now, we're doing a top-end raid right now, and we're kind of at the end of the content. And this is actually, to keep things interesting, where Blizzard makes it the most difficult and the most challenging. So even on our Friday night best attempts, we still had the case of the disappearing tank. And that's when a tank would get one-shotted. And you might kind of wonder, well, how does that happen in the middle of a fight when you have these amazingly geared tanks? Well, the answer is they build the mechanism in such a way that if you are not entirely on your game, tanks are going to disappear. So in the case of Argus, there's a stacking debuff. You can't avoid that stacking debuff except with a classic tank swap. But they also make it more challenging enough that a tank has to run somewhere, do something, switch positions, avoid things on the floor, whichever, that you can't always taunt off back and forth in the smoothest, easiest fashion. So 2 stacking debuffs, most tanks can get fine through, but when you get to 3, the chance of getting one shot starts to increase. In which case then, what do you need to do? Well, obviously active mitigation has to be perfect, but even with active mitigation, the boss is still capable of one-shotting you. One shot, one kill, and that's goodbye to the tank. So, you need in those cases to be combining both active mitigation and the active cooldowns at just the right time. And even though we have very experienced tanks in our raid, there's still time when they find that little hole in our armor, and a combination of high health, mitigation, and cooldowns sometimes are just not quite enough, or there's not an active cooldown handy. So, one-shots. The bane of the tank's existence. They happen when new content comes out, and they last all the way through the top-end raids. And that's Come At Me, a Tanking Minute.
All right, and next up.
Sometimes it's hard to play my monk in raids. I'll go ahead and play her anyway. Forget the trees and grow a pair of fists. It's hard, it's hard, it's hard out here for me. It's hard out here.
And this week's Misting into Healing. This week, I'm going to talk about using cooldowns. Some healers have external cooldowns like Iron Bark and Life Cocoon. All healers have some sort of raid-wide cooldown. All these heals need to be used at the right time, while others are used on cooldown. This all goes back to how you play, and your raid teams like to utilize these cooldowns. Our raid group, we tend to try and stagger them and use them when needed. Of course, this doesn't happen all the time, and you're using them at a point in time when you may not need to use it. Using cooldowns is all about knowing the mechanics of the fight. You need to know when the big damage will be coming to the raid, or when the tank is going to take a big hit and to use that external cooldown. These cooldowns can mean the survival or the wipe of the raid. You never know exactly when you're going to need to use these cooldowns, as the healing might get more intense. If one of the healers is down, my suggestion to everyone is learn the mechanics, get the details of the fight, but most of all, know your class. The more you play and master your skills, the more you're aware, and the more the raid will be, and the better player you will come, but also a better healer.
Very good. And next up, it's WFN News, Warcraft Stafford News. The Command Center, I think, is up next at the Broken Shores. Only because, and I don't know how many times you guys have seen this, you can weigh in here, both the Mage Tower and the Nether Disruptor is up at this particular moment in time. I have never seen that, but at all. I was talking with Lorelei earlier, and she had seen it once before.
Yep, so this will be the second time. And I wonder if that's because they're switching to have the Mage Tower show up more so that people can get their... Well, actually, I think it said the Mage Tower may be up all the time before the expansion so that people can get their appearances.
Oh, I do remember reading something about that.
That may be
I didn't even think that may be exactly why.
Update.
Okay. So anyway, the Command Center's up next. It's got heavily augmented and Forces of the Order. And the weekly event is Arena Skirmish.
Boo.
Yeah, no idea. I've not done an arena at all, and I don't even know what an arena skirmish is. So that just goes to show you how much I do that. Now, WoW tokens took a pretty good jump. It went up almost $9,000 from last week. Yeah. So
Yeah, I bought 3 yesterday.
I have to put one out there.
Midsummer Fire Festival is still going on. We got another week of that. So if you haven't gone out there and juggled your fire sticks in the air and used the special add-on, better get out there and do it.
Okay, skip that world quest. It is not worth the stress in your life. Do everything else. The catching the torches is never worth it.
Well, but
It
there's
can
an
be
add-on
done.
for
Don't-
it, though.
You know what?
No,
there's
not
there's
anymore.
another thing. You cannot do that in the middle of the day or early evening when everybody's on the game. Do it early in the morning or late at night when there's not as many people, and try it in Ironforge. You've got more
Or
room.
go to
run.
Exodar. Because there's
Oh.
nobody there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, those are all good things to know, but I'm still
But
not
yeah,
going to do
skip
it.
that one.
You didn't try it?
No.
I got it for what a long strange trip it's been a couple of years ago, but I'll never do it again. It's not worth
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Once I got it, I'm okay. Been there, done that.
And it's
Dark.
only for 5 flowers. So
Yeah, right. All that work for just 5 flowers. Now, there isn't anything that goes like progresses past that. Once you get that done, you get something else.
nope.
No. Yeah. Okay. Then it'll never get done, as far as I'm concerned. Dark Moon Fair starts on Sunday, so don't forget. And then that will run a week. And did you guys know last weekend was Welcome Back weekend?
Yes, I did.
I heard
Oh.
that somewhere.
Yeah. So if you, there's no penalties. If you had played before and suspended your account, you could have brought it back. It actually ended on Sunday, so it was just for the weekend. But yeah, I did not know, and it was funny because I read that news and I was like, oh, it ends. We're recording on Sunday. I was like, oh, it ends today.
Oops.
And I just saw it, and it was posted like 13 hours prior. So they posted the news on Saturday that it was Welcome Back weekend, and then Sunday it was over. So it was like, wow, that was really, really quick.
I had heard about it on Wednesday or Thursday last week.
Oh, yeah. No, I looked at Wowhead and their news, and they had posted it 13 hours prior. And I was like, wow.
I know. I think it was on the Blizzard launcher, though.
Yeah, that could
Yeah,
be
it was.
last week.
Yeah, I saw it on the launcher.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I usually skip over that. Too many other things to do. So, well, guys, appreciate it. It's a little short, but only by about 10 minutes, so it's not too bad. I want to thank all you guys for coming. Thank all the fans for listening. And I want to thank Charm for all of her beautiful music. Please go visit her website and her YouTube channel. The links are in the description below. Vincent Moretto for a heavy metal tavern music. I will mention BenSound at bensound.com. But we're not using his music, but I always do it anyway. So thanks, everybody, for coming. We'll see y'all next week.
See ya.
Have a great week.
See ya.
I kissed an orc and I liked it. The taste of his Bulgur chapstick. I kissed an orc just to try it. I hope my ally friends don't mind it. It felt so wrong, it felt so right. Don't mean I'm in love tonight.
See
Sorry,
ya.
Dizzy. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine.
We're getting
I
all
got
Canadian
excited
here.
because I actually sold one of the winter pets last week after putting it up for like 2 months. So definitely save them.
She's making money.
Oh, I did. I'm like, oh, I sold 2 pets. That's like a record.
Well, I have to say, ever since the Goblin Gold Cash went out, I stopped making gold. So I think it was because of them I was making gold.
I still do, just
Eh.
not as fast, not as
They,
much.
they may be back again.
I hope so.
That would be nice. So, Mac, if you're listening, guys got to get back into it.
We miss you.
We miss you.
We haven't seen Mac around for a long time.
Oh, he was on. Was
was
I
he?
saw him, yeah, during the raid on, I think it was Saturday. He was on one of his alts. And then
Oh, I probably didn't
as
recognize the
soon
name.
as we started, he hopped off. So, well, he's up in Alaska, you know, he's
Yeah,
he's
his work
summer now.
schedule's different. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. See you guys next week.
See ya.
See ya.
All right.
See ya.